Welcome back to the... So today we are wrestling with a concept that I think it haunts a lot of us, especially when we, look in the mirror or look at our bank accounts. Transformation, it's just such a heavy word, right?
Oh, it is. It carries this massive weight.
Yeah, when we think transforming our lives, we picture this like cinematic montage, quitting the job, moving to a remote island, waking up at 4 a.m. to run a marathon every single day.
It's the classic all or nothing trap. We convince ourselves that if the change isn't radical and, frankly, painful, then it just doesn't count.
And because that is so exhausting just to think about, we usually choose...
Nothing.
Exactly. We choose nothing. We just freeze.
We're paralyzed by the sheer scale of the mountain.
But
Often in the self-help space, you get a lot of high-level fluff.
Believe in yourself.
Right, but no instructions on how. The core philosophy here is consistency over intensity. This lays out 5 specific habits, and what struck me is the barrier to entry. We are not talking about hours of deep work here.
Not at all.
We are talking about actions that take 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, or in one case, literally 45 seconds.
And that's the hook for me. Start today, not next month. It removes that whole procrastination barrier. But I do have to play devil's advocate for a second.
Tell you.
We're kind of programmed to believe that big results require big suffering. So can these tiny, almost invisible actions actually deliver on a promise as big as transformation? Or is that just wishful thinking?
That's the big question we need to answer. Because on the surface, complexity feels effective. If it's hard, it must be working, right? Pound effect. It's suggesting that these small daily habits actually rewire your brain and your day in a way that sheer willpower just can't.
Okay.
So our mission today is to unpack why these specific 5 habits were chosen and what they actually do to your psychology.
All right, let's put it to the test. Let's start with the first habit, which basically anchors the entire day. Start your day with intention. But before it gives us the solution, it identifies the problem. And honestly, it called me out immediately.
The enemy of the morning, as they frame it.
Yes. Checking the phone first thing, root cause of a derailed day. And I think 99% of us are guilty of this.
Oh, absolutely. Alarm goes off, hand reaches out, and we're scrolling.
And it's interesting because this bad, like a parrot, it implies a specific reason why it destroys your day.
Yes, the mechanism. When you wake up and immediately scroll, emails, news, social media, you are putting your brain into a reactive state. You are starting your day by processing other people's priorities, other people's
emergencies, or just the general chaos of the world.
Exactly.
That's such a crucial distinction, reactive versus proactive. If I grab my phone, I'm immediately on defense. I'm dodging bullets before I've even had my coffee.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You've surrendered your agency before your feet even hit the floor. So micro fix to reclaim that. And again, the time investment is almost laughable.
It's just 1 minute.
1 minute.
So what are we supposed to do with that minute? We're not meditating on a mountaintop. We're probably still in bed with messy hair.
No mountaintop required. You just replace the scroll with a single internal question. What do I want from today?
What do I want from today? It sounds almost too simple to be effective.
But try to answer it. It forces a cognitive shift. You have to stop reacting and start designing. Clear here. The answer doesn't have to be, I want to found $1 billion startup.
Right. The examples they give are surprisingly low stakes, like I want to be calm, or I want to finish one important task.
And that's the key. It lowers the pressure. By setting an intention like calmness, you're priming your brain to look for opportunities to be calm. You are setting the filter for the day.
I like that idea, an emotional filter. So if my intention is patience, and then I get a snarky email or someone cuts me off in traffic, I'm already primed to handle it differently than if I had just doom scrolled for 20 minutes and was already on edge.
That's exactly it. The time is feeling more in control. You aren't changing the world, you're changing your orientation to it. You're setting the emotional GPS before you start driving the car.
And if you don't set the GPS, you're just driving wherever the road or your inbox takes you.
We all know where that leads.
Usually to anxiety and that feeling of, where did the time go? Okay, so we've reclaimed the first minute of the day. We have our anchor. Let's move to habit number 2, something daily.
The daily download.
Now, usually when people hear daily learning, they think, going back to school, reading some dense textbook. The objection is always time.
I'm too busy, I have a job, I have kids.
Right. Cap on this. Just 10 minutes.
Right. Which is a very strategic number. 10 minutes is manageable for, anyone. You can find 10 minutes on a commute while waiting for water to boil, or even in the bathroom, let's be honest.
Ways to do this. Reading, listening to a podcast like this one, or learning new English words, which is a nod to its origins. But let's push back a little. Can you really learn anything valuable in just 10 minutes? Is that enough?
Well, if you see it as a one-off thing, no. 10 minutes once is nothing. Relying on the principle of the streak. It uses this powerful maxim. Successful people never stop learning. It's not about the volume of learning in one sitting. It's about the identity of being a learner.
That's an interesting way to put it. So it's less about becoming an expert in 10 minutes and more about just keeping the brain in a state of...
Plasticity. It's mental maintenance. The benefits, improved confidence, and keeping the mind active. Think of it like taking your brain to the gym for a quick warm-up. If you stop, your mind stagnates. You start recycling the same old ideas.
Stagnation is the enemy. It feels like shrinking.
It is. When you inject new information, even just one new idea a day, you're giving your brain new raw material to work with. And that builds confidence because you feel competent. You feel like you're growing, even if it's just a millimeter a day.
And I suppose it also prevents that feeling of being stuck in a rut. If you're learning, you're moving, even if you're physically sitting still.
Exactly. You're expanding your map of the world.
Speaking of moving, that brings us neatly to habit number 3. So we've primed the mind, fed the brain. Now we have to deal with the vehicle. Move your body.
Barrier to fitness, which is, frankly, the fitness industry itself.
The gym.
The gym.
Say you don't need the gym, which is just music to my ears. I think for so many people, the gym represents friction.
It's a massive psychological hurdle. Packing the bag, the commute, the fees, the intimidation of the guy lifting 500 pounds next to you.
Yeah, that hurdle is high enough that we don't jump. We do nothing.
Necessarily. It replaces gym routine with a 15-minute walk.
Just 15 minutes. Again, there's that theme of it being almost insultingly simple.
It feels like cheating, doesn't it?
It does.
But physiologically, it's so potent. The small investment yields a benefit triad: mood, energy, and sleep.
Which are the big 3. If your mood, energy, and sleep are optimized, you're basically a super. So to everyone listening, maybe try it out. Don't do all 5 at once if that feels overwhelming. Just pick one, maybe just the morning anchor. Try asking, what do I want from today, tomorrow morning, and just see if the world looks a little different.
It might just be the minute that changes everything.
Thanks for these micro habits.
Always a pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next